Wrestling Podcast. And his name is John Cena.
But then also, like, at EP1 shows now, people come up to all the time.
Oh, really?
They're like, it's you! I've seen 3 different people do it now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
All right, it is Friday, March 18th, 2016, and you're listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Ray, and I'm returning for what we're calling my appendix, pulling the biggest heel turn of my career.
And I'm Grant, filling in for Brittany while she has gone into hiding. No comment so far on whether she was in on the appendix double cross.
Yeah, this is, like, super curious, right? Like, you're saying you did the heel turn, but you're also the victim, and Brittany's disappeared.
Shit got weird, man. Shit got weird.
Like the old NWO, you never know who's white and who's Wolfpack. It's like,
that's a great call. Yeah, exactly. You rip off your NWO white shirt, your Wolfpack shirt,
Yeah.
which also then has a white shirt underneath. Like,
Yeah,
what is
no.
going on?
So we're 3 co-workers who enjoy pro wrestling, and this podcast gives us the space to shoot on all the aspects of our favorite pastime without getting the, confused looks we get from the rest of our office.
This podcast is all about giving you consistent, bite-sized commentary on the world of wrestling, focusing primarily on WWE's main roster and NXT, though we'll occasionally touch on the indies and international scene.
Yeah, so every week, barring heel turns and appendix bursts, we will recap the previous week's Raw, NXT, pay-per-view, takeover, whatever. Have roundtable discussions on various topics and things of that nature. This week, we're recapping the past couple of Raws and the network exclusive Roadblock.
So before we even get started, Grant, real quick, when did you start watching wrestling? When did you originally get started?
Well, I actually had a subscription to WWF magazine back in the day, like the mid-'80s.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty old.
Yeah.
So I watched it, on Saturday mornings, and the shows were in the 80s, and kind of took a pretty long break until my friends got me back into it around the late 90s. So
Nice.
We were mostly into WCW at the time.
Right.
I think my first pay-per-view then was Super Brawl in '99.
Whoa!
And so we were at like the fall of WCW, like right before everybody jumped ship.
Yeah.
And then I jumped ship to WWF around there and kind of right at their height and the Austin Rock stuff happening. And then kind of punched out. And then went dark again for another decade or so. And then came back again when the same friend was like, hey, I started watching Raw again. You want to come join me? I'm like, absolutely, yes.
When did he start watching?
So it would have, I think it was either the week after or 2 weeks after Daniel Bryan leaving the Wyatt family. So like I did not see that. Like I missed that live.
Snap.
And then I came back right after that. And then I watched that video. I couldn't believe it. That was like one of the coolest things
I had
ever.
a similar delay in my time.
Yeah.
That's interesting to hear.
Yeah, Grant's got a good mix of kind of all 3 of us.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
And then quickly, favorite wrestler of all time?
Wow, favorite wrestler of all time.
Top 3 though.
Top 3 would probably be Randy Savage. Would definitely be on that list.
Yeah, you don't have to like say 3 to 1. Just who are the 3?
Yeah, gosh, I don't know. I've never really thought
Cream
about
of the
that.
crop.
I think back in the day it would probably be Savage.
Right.
Back in like the mid era when I was watching, it would probably be Top Knot Jericho.
Oh yeah.
And modern day, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. Who's the guy and this includes anybody that's currently on the injured list? Who's your top existing wrestler right now?
God, I think I might have to say Kevin Owens.
Yes.
As weird as that is.
Yes.
All right.
You can kind of see where Grant kind of fits with all of us. I think Grant coming in for Brittany definitely was a no-brainer here.
We'll
So
leave you as the listener to judge whether there's more hijinks here or not.
yeah. So Roadblock.
That's right.
Exclusive.
We gotta give you props first. Triple H used the Ray-ism, the speed bump to WrestleMania.
Yes.
So
Oh my God.
Take a bow.
I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. I was like, "Oh man, he's listening to the podcast."
Yeah, he's a subscriber.
Exactly.
I think he left a review on iTunes for you guys.
Oh man! First match from Roadblock was Sami Zayn versus Stardust. Now Sami Zayn actually debuted for real on Raw this time,
Yep.
and he went and came after Owens, and it looks like that's going to be a WrestleMania match.
It's gonna be well done. You knew this feud would resume at
At some point, I didn't-
and the look on Owen's face
Yeah,
when the
totally.
Sammy music hit was precious.
Priceless.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
think we all had a good look on our face when that happened, and Owens was that look of disbelief and that was
Yeah,
great.
Owens
Good
is
stuff.
really good at
And
selling
it came at the end of a really good match too. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Owens Neville match
Oh,
is-
man.
yeah,
It
they're
was so good.
Oh, Neville.
Oh, Neville. I heard he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hurt.
I have the guy's shirt. Maybe I cursed him. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
probably what
Yeah.
happens.
Oh, I hope it's on his shoulder.
Ah,
So
it would make sense.
Yeah, so Sami Zayn took on Stardust, really just to show off Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
But I feel like Stardust was doing like a really heel like match, and it was really slow. It wasn't as good of a showing as what we kind of saw the next night on Raw. Sami Zayn taking on The Miz. Totally different match, really fast paced, great match, and then we see this match, and it was just, it's not memorable. It wasn't a great match for.
It's tough with the network exclusives. It's still hit or miss. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I think maybe some of the performers approach it that way. It's tough to say, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Sami Zayn's kind of trying to do as best as he can.
Yeah, because I kind of maybe feel like it's more that house show feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
got that vibe from a few of the matches too.
Yeah, like not
just-
all of them. Like,
Yeah,
but
totally, no.
Yeah, but like a couple of them were definitely had that vibe of like, it didn't feel like a pay per view.
Yeah.
It felt like a SmackDown or Superstars style match.
And it feels
Yeah.
like Zayn's still trying to, he came out for his pre-debut back in Montreal back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
and then he hurt himself.
Yeah.
And then he came out to attack Owens, and the crowd was all into it. And now he just kind of has to settle in on being just another Raw guy, and I feel like
Yeah.
that might take him a few weeks. But
But this
all it
one
takes is
in
that.
Canada,
go ahead.
right? This one was in Canada.
Yes,
it
it
was.
was.
It
It was
was
in
in
So they were
Toronto.
trying to stack the deck
Yeah.
there too, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he'll
But-
get there. I have no doubt he'll get
yeah,
there.
it's just kind of like interesting thinking about that. You know, like you had mentioned, they rolled out the red carpet for him
Yeah.
in Montreal that time, like Bret Hart
That
coming
was amazing,
out and
yeah.
all that. And that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good. It felt like prior to him getting injured, that felt like it was gonna be his debut. They were just gonna skip him
Yeah.
getting the NXT title, then just go straight for Raw.
He
And-
celebrated so intensely he hurt himself.
Yeah,
I know
he
the
got
feeling.
so excited and he threw up those arms and
Yeah.
wham, there
Yeah.
goes that shoulder.
Every time he does it now, I'm like, please, just be careful, please.
He's
please.
hesitant
Yeah.
on doing it
I don't
now.
blame him.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
So how about like Stardust? What are you guys thinking about him? Like
I
I feel like he's kind of stagnated, though he can do way better.
He can do way better. I felt like when he was starting out with his brother with
Yeah.
Goldust, like it was almost like it was a showmanship. It was like each kind of out showing themselves because like Goldust got into really good shape.
Yeah,
and
totally.
he was like putting on crazy matches.
Yeah.
And so I felt like Cody like really had to get on the ball,
Yeah.
and so I really like Cody Rhodes. I really like Stardust. I actually enjoyed the character, but they're not going to do anything with Stardust as a gimmick, and two, it wasn't a good match for him. It really was like really slow. It really felt like I don't want to say phoned it in, but it just felt like it wasn't a Raw pay-per-view
Yeah.
match.
I love Stardust as a character. I love how into the character Cody is. Like
Yeah.
all of his screaming and jumping up on the
Yeah.
barricade and stuff. It's great, but like, yeah, I feel like they had their window with Goldust and Stardust right before WrestleMania. I think it was
Yeah.
at Fastlane, wasn't it? When
Yeah.
they had their match and then they kind of botched the ending and then they just kind of went away.
Yep.
Yeah. All
Oh,
right.
well.
So next match was Charlotte versus Natalya. Natty is a great wrestler, and I was excited that she's back.
Mm-hmm.
When they had this match in NXT, when Bret Hart and Ric Flair were on
Oh,
each other's
yeah.
corner,
I remember that.
it was a really good match, solid match. Like it
Yeah.
was really showed off Charlotte really well.
Mm-hmm.
This match, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like my expectations, I guess, were really high because of that. And
Yeah. I just more excited to see her like wrestling again. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all
Yes.
like the total divas, like I always felt like hers was the most forced.
Yeah.
And then it's like they gave her a break, and then they let sort of Paige force it next. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it's like I'd rather see both of those women wrestling because they're really good.
Yep.
So on one angle, I'm just happy to see her wrestling again.
Yeah.
But I mean, that very much was like, you know that they're not going to take the angle too far because the business at WrestleMania is set. And, it did, again, have kind of more of a house show feel, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing that Brittany's not here to defend her, but I think she and I have had that conversation before where, like, main roster Charlotte does not really do much for me. NXT, like, when you Ray, mentioned earlier the match that she had with Natalya down in NXT did really well, I think. And, like, I feel like she does really well when there's somebody who's a little bit more experienced to be in there with her.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really have that on the main roster yet, but I think she'll get there. And
well, she's getting there. Like, with Sasha, she'll put on a good show, I think.
Yeah, totally. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think to your point, when she's wrestling somebody that's really, really solid, she rises to that occasion.
Yeah. Totally.
And with Natty really, like, coming off of an injury for, God, it almost felt like a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know,
it's like
a
the
little
classic play to the level of your opponent in sports kind of thing.
Yeah, and so I feel like Natty, just because she, you know, hasn't been in the ring for a while, it definitely felt like, you know, it was a little bit less of a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does, fortunately, make up for not, like, the NXT match quality being higher. On Raw, she makes up for with, like, just, she's so good at being a heel.
Yeah.
And she's really just swinging for the fences now, and it's working out pretty good.
Totally.
We were actually, Ray was bringing up the point from the Raw before this show, how Charlotte's segment where she had, like, the street clothes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
She looked so badass.
Yeah. So this is one thing, and you would, Grant, would probably agree with me, like, looking at Ric Flair back in, like, the 80s and early 90s, when he was in, not the, you know, the gowns and the big, but when he was in his street clothes, he would come in slacks and a real, like, a t-shirt, like a V-neck.
Yeah.
And he looked so badass.
Yeah. Yeah,
he
definitely brought it,
He looked so legit, and I think seeing that...
That's like the Charlotte version?
Yeah, it really felt like it was like, I'm too good to be wearing my ring tights. I'm not going to wear my ring tights. It's just more of a... It's that...
Look at the gold. This is what you don't have.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. It's that little edge of heel.
Yeah.
You know, like, wearing your normal clothes a little bit and going into the ring.
Yeah.
It adds just a little bit.
I'd rather have her take that page out of her father's book than wear the woo bra. You know?
Yeah.
So after that, ready to move on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So after that, you got Enzo and Cass.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Enzo and Cass.
So I used to hate Enzo and Cass. Hate, because Enzo, and you can quote me on this, Enzo is a...
Enzo is like a more eloquent X-Pac.
No, that is
fired.
rough. No. If DDP and Justin Credible had a love child, that would be Enzo Amore.
I don't want to picture that.
Yeah, dude, it is the same guy. It is
mullet, just a giant mullet everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
he looks like Justin Credible and DDP.
All right, I take back the X-Pac comment.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of like wrestling and match like situationalness, like how he's used. I mean, sometimes he just uses a lawn dart, right?
Yeah.
Big Cass.
It's
like when you would see, you know, Big Daddy Cool and 321 Kid.
Yeah, he fights like Shane. He fights like Shane. Like he just like dancing and punching and whatever.
I love the two of them together. And I started the first time I ever watched NXT, it was when I think Enzo was hurt.
Yeah.
And so it was just Colin Cassidy in the ring and not really doing much. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? But now that they're back together, I get why everybody likes him. And
his mic skills are just...
Yeah, he's
really good at mic.
The promos that they started doing, like, backstage, their interviews are, like, easily the best in NXT when they feel like doing it.
He also has gotten way more confident and less of the goofy cocky and more of the for real he acts like he's Triple H. He acts like he's way bigger than he is. And it's kind of really endearing because he's like, holy shit, dude, he really thinks he's that good. And he's talking like it too.
I don't think there's much left for them to do in NXT.
Yeah, no.
I think they're ready. I think that Roadblock showed that they're ready.
Yeah.
And they resonate too. Like if you think back to the cautionary tale we always bring up is Ascension, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the Ascension just tried to do what they do in a 3,000 seat arena, in a 13,000 seat arena. It didn't translate, right? Just stand there, look mean, lose to everybody loses to them. Whereas the Enzo Cass thing, we already know translates. Like Brooklyn showed us that it could resonate, and I think
and it worked in Toronto too. And that's the thing. Like in Brooklyn, I would expect them to be like the most over thing ever.
Yeah,
but
because the kid that cash in New York.
Right. But even in Toronto, like it's funny. They kept cutting to people in the crowd to be like, "Look, people are chanting along. You know, you can do this too at home if you want to." There were like 4 people in the whole stadium. Yeah, they're ready, and I think that match with Dash and Dawson was really good too.
They need a new finisher.
Yeah.
I don't know, like toss Enzo thing.
Yeah, lift him up.
You're going to say lawn dart.
I was going to say lawn dart again. Like, you look at Dash and Dawson's, the Revival's finishing maneuver. Yeah. That thing is fucking dope.
Yeah, and it can come out of nowhere, too. Yeah. That's the thing I like. And what I don't like about, like, American Alpha and Enzo and Cass are that their finishers are so... They can only come out when somebody's, like, incapacitated or down.
Yeah.
And so you'll see it used to be they haven't done this
Ascension, right?
Yeah. And you haven't seen this in a while, but like it used to be just Gable would get his ass kicked for 10 minutes and then Jordan would hot tag in. Yeah. And Jordan would hot tag in, throw a few suplexes and then immediately tag Cable again and they do their finisher.
Yeah.
So it was I never really bought it as much, but Dash and Dawson are like they can do it outside the ring, they can do it from the top rope. They're I like them.
Those guys really surprised me. Like they came kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, they all they need is mic time and a gimmick.
Yeah,
I loved their promo that they did on Enzo and Cass back in the day when talking about Enzo being like stuffed in the overhead bin of the plane or something. Oh man, they're so good.
But yeah, I think they just for them like technically, oh my god, they're so sound. It's just a matter of the personality needs to be flushed out.
Again, one of the best parts of NXT now is like seeing these characters evolve and grow into these newer roles. Like when it was the birth of like Gable, right?
Yeah.
And Jordan, and then turning into American Alpha, it's like super cool to just see that happen.
I always remember that. I was trying to describe that to my wife the other day and talking about how interesting those characters were. And that progression of Jordan being like, I still haven't found a good tag team partner.
Yeah.
And Gable being like, look, I made a towel. Like, remember when that didn't exist? Like, they've come so far.
It makes you
really
wonder,
impressive.
Was that the plan all along?
No.
Or did they just find, like, the plan was, all right, we got to keep having Jordan not have a teammate, and then hopefully one of these sticks, and then it sticks like cool, go.
Yeah.
I think the plan was to find him a tag team partner, but the fact that they kept getting hurt, they kept like not meshing well, like they kept not like it. He just had horrible luck, and really like
it's like it wasn't kayfabe, right?
Yeah,
he was walking around like sulking, pissed about it.
Yeah,
and then Cable's like, pick me.
I think the biggest lock in a while is American Alpha, or whenever they get a chance at the tag team belts, them actually winning them.
It's
no spoilers for NXT this week.
Yeah. But
cool.
Yeah, so it's so funny. Everybody is super positive about Enzo and Cass, and they lost that match.
They did. And I mean, I feel like they can take losses because they're ready. Like they don't need to. They're not going to win the titles probably. I don't even think they need them, so I think they're ready to go.
Yep. That was always the sort of like sure thing joke / speculation we'd have is once you see a super popular act start losing a couple of times, it's like getting promoted. It's like they got to settle all debts. Move on to their next thing, right?
Yep. So Jericho versus Swagger.
Sorry, I'm laughing at your note.
Anybody but Swagger. Because I'm like, why? Like they could have. Jericho,
because everybody's hurt. They don't have anybody else.
Here's the thing. Jericho
he's not a heel right now either.
He's heel. He's so heel right now.
Well, but in Canada, right? Well, I guess that feeds into it. So he could be the anti-American.
Did you see his Jericho's promo?
Yeah. He did it before the match.
Yeah, so Jericho's promo, usually even when he's a heel, when he comes to Canada, it's more like, oh yeah, I'm glad to be in Canada because America is like the worst and blah, blah. He went full heel on Canada. It's like, I'm ashamed to be Canadian. I was like, I'm glad I moved. He fucking trashed Canada.
I'm glad I moved, baby.
And that would have worked for everyone. And then it's like, oh, Swagger's music hits.
It's like, who
you're trying
cares?
to sell We the People in Canada, and it's like, no, we like Jericho again. Sorry.
Yeah. So like, I felt like they could have done that promo and
Yeah.
then have him just leave. That would have honestly
Yeah.
that would have been much better. Like Swagger,
Yeah,
the
maybe.
Swagger match was okay, but like who cares? It's
I like
Swagger.
giving Jericho a win though because like the
Yeah.
AJ with the AJ thing coming up. I
Yeah, like
think it's good to
because
keep it
AJ
moving,
is gonna win.
Yeah.
I kind of hope so.
Skipping over really quickly, let's just go over New Day in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So New Day in full face mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, on the Raw the next night, I think they
Foreshadowing, but
got
yeah,
it. Yeah,
exactly.
totally. Like on the Raw the next night, I think they got all the way there. But that the Budios thing at Roadblock, I think was a pretty good baby face.
yeah,
we knew it was
it's,
coming.
it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's
now that
not
I'm seeing
bad.
it, I don't hate it, but
It's not bad, but there's always like they're not going to be able to do all of the really funny heel things that they do.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I'm giving WWE benefit of the doubt for now.
Yeah.
It's still funny. I'm still glad. They're giving Xavier Woods actual like ring time.
yeah.
He tore it up on Raw.
Oh my God.
I haven't seen him wrestle in a while.
Yeah.
and it was great.
Oh man, I forgot that he can do that spring off clothesline.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Like he's not a cheerleader. Like he's an actual.
But he's great
wrestler.
at both. Is the
Yeah,
thing? Like,
yeah.
maybe it's just that we haven't seen him wrestle in a while.
In
So
a
it's like,
while.
man, he's amazing. But like, he's been doing so great outside the ring. I was super bummed when we went to Raw and they just New Day went straight to the ring and wrestled. And they didn't get a promo. We didn't. We got denied any trombone and everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you would expect they would have made fun of us about losing to Sonics or something, but they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so they beat the League of Nations 2 times in a row. You know,
Two wins.
like at WrestleMania, they're losing the titles.
I don't. I guess. I mean,
It's tough, though.
why would you
because-
give it to Lee? Well, I don't know. The New Day have had it for a long time, so maybe you're right.
Yeah, it's
But,
just
you know,
it's-
there's always one or two oddball storylines. Like, you know, as good as we think we understand stuff, they do something, right? Like,
Yep.
Sheamus won Money in the Bank, remember?
yeah, that was weird.
Why?
I don't know.
And thank God he's already lost a briefcase, but...
I would have no problem with them holding the belts until Cesaro and Tyson Kidd come back and
I
take
miss
them
them
back.
so much.
Oh, man.
So
Tyson Kidd ever
much.
coming back, or
I
is
mean,
he
they could-
done?
Okay.
I don't
Speculating, we
Too
don't know.
sad.
Yeah. Okay. So Brock Lesnar, I'm always excited for him to wrestle, always. And it was going to be up against Bray Wyatt. And this was kind of like last minute. It felt a little weird. I'm like, okay, I'll bite. You know, Brock versus Bray. They didn't do a good job promoting it. And then they were like, oh, no, it's Brock versus Bray. And Bray gets to choose the tag team partner.
Yeah.
And then he didn't even wrestle in the match. So it was Brock versus Luke.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was really bad booking. I felt
Yeah.
like it was, you just reduced Bray Wyatt again. Like, if it would have been like, oh no, Bray Wyatt decided that Luke is going to fight,
Yeah.
it's a heel thing to do.
Yeah.
But if it's,
They almost went there. I
They
feel like
al-
they
yeah.
could have gotten there, but they didn't commit to it. Yeah.
but instead they were like, no, they're fighting them together, and Bray just walked out.
Yeah. And he didn't just walk out. Like at the end of the match,
He was
Brock
scared.
like left the ring, and yeah, he's like skipping and jumping up the ramp, like he's booking it there. I did see something that indicated that he might be hurt though, and that's why they changed it. Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, but that's.
Which-
I still think they could have just. He could have just been like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna fight Brock. Luke's gonna fight Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I did. Ordinarily, I would be all about a Brock versus Luke Harper match. Like
Yeah.
both of them are
Holy
great.
shit! He took like 3 clotheslines. He took like a couple super kicks.
Yeah.
Like,
I've always been impressed with the Luke Harper super kick.
yeah, it's
For a
really
big guy,
good.
he
Yeah.
seems to
He
be
does a
able to
lot
pull
of
it
things
off.
really well.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Powerbomb, yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
he's great.
So
pretty good.
so yeah, that was kind of shit.
Yeah, okay. It's like every other with this one. But
Yeah, and then Triple H.
The high note. Yeah.
The high note. Triple H versus Dean Ambrose. In terms of a match, like storytelling wise, fuck. Like,
How do you handle Dean Ambrose now? Like, he's been super white hot over for so long, yet, like, you know, they just don't seem to want to give it to him.
oh man.
I think they gave him a lot in this match, though. Like,
Yeah.
he took Triple H to the limit. Technically, he had him pinned for a 3, and I jumped off my
Oh
damn
yeah.
couch.
Oh
when
yeah, I did.
The ref's hand hit the mat. I'm like,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Everything's
Just like
different.
we had at Money in the Bank, where he was champion for like 4 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
but honestly, you know, it's a little bit of a tease to keep doing this, but
yes,
I think
that's-
every
that's
time
kinda
they
where my
do
complaint
it,
comes from.
yeah. But I think that when they do pay it off, like I think it's
Everybody's
still
gonna be behind it.
It's
Yeah,
the
I think
same.
so.
It's the same thing with like Brock Lesnar. You can only have him lose without losing, but still losing so many times.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's got to lose clean at least a few times.
I really like that match though. With,
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Triple
no,
I
great.
couldn't believe
Fantastic.
Triple H wrestled again on the next night. He's like 46 or something.
Yeah,
He must have.
Man,
maybe he's got another DVD coming out.
I don't
because
know,
He's in
man.
good shape, you know.
He's in phenomenal shape. He's wrestling his ass off, and I think it was a great end to the pay-per-view.
A little part of me hoped that Ambrose would win the title and it would shake stuff up on WrestleMania, but maybe that was naive of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was buying it though during the match. Like I did not go into any of the matches assuming that
There'd be
they would just
consequence.
retain and they
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything. So
Yeah.
So we've been seeing Dean Ambrose get like all the attention on Raw.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good storytelling on Raw. Like it's been fantastic. And we're only a couple weeks out from Mania, and now we're telling the Roman Reigns story. Like,
yeah, man,
It smacks again of last year, like poor Roman Reigns. Like I'm now gone to the point where I'm like, I think I'm sympathizing.
You've
with
turned
the
back
guy.
around.
you know what? You know what's so funny?
It's discombobulated, right?
On
Yeah.
Twitter that Monday, I think I saw more poor Roman Reigns tweets than I ever seen. Like everybody's just like, I just feel bad for him, and I'm like, that's horrible going into the main event.
I
He's
know,
going to
it
be the
is.
third wheel in the main event again.
Yeah, and it's sad too because like by all accounts he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's good in the ring. He's not that diverse in the ring, but he does
Right.
pretty well in the ring. The storytelling is doing him no favors.
Yeah,
Like
and he's
taking
been
him.
paying his dues.
Yeah,
right?
it's
He's
like,
been
but-
dragged through the
but-
mud for
but
a
they-
whole year.
Yeah, but they just won't. I feel like there was a window there when he beat up Triple H for like 10 minutes at the end of a pay-per-view and then
Yeah.
won the title from Sheamus the next night on Raw.
Yes.
Like that was, everybody was like,
Absolutely.
okay, I'm in on Roman Reigns.
Yeah, we were saying
Yeah.
we're ready for this
Yeah.
now, and then they found a way to mess that up.
Yeah,
like they
they-
got so excited
Yeah.
with like the tater tots chants
Yeah.
that he was finally over that then they like super over-indexed on like Roman being over.
And I don't do this a lot while I'm watching wrestling, but when Reigns came back, Triple H just wrestled an amazing match with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And is exhausted, and then Reigns comes out and just beats him up for 10 minutes. I'm like, that's not a very good guy thing to do, Roman
Yeah, it's
Reigns.
not. It's not.
Yeah. They don't know how to do faces. Is that?
They don't know how.
WWE baby faces.
Yeah, they don't know how to write baby faces. They love writing heels, and they do an excellent job of it. But because what they do is they're like, we're gonna write you as a heel. You have the freedom to tell that story however you want.
Right.
When you're a face, you are going to be advertised to young children.
Yeah.
We need to control this story,
Yeah.
and that's where they
Basically,
mess
we
up.
only know how to do John Cena. Can you do
Yeah.
a John Cena for us?
I was talking about this with a friend of mine, and I feel like the WWE is just handcuffed by how successful Cena is at merchandise and like
Yeah.
crossover appeal to kids and everything. Like we couldn't think of anybody on NXT or on the main roster besides Sami Zayn that could transition into that super good guy, do-gooder role.
In a way, maybe the injuries come at the best time.
to injury to who?
John Cena.
Oh, yeah, maybe, but he can't be around forever, you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
this
but-
is going to be. I fully believe that the WrestleMania after this one will be Cena's probably last go. I think.
Yeah, I'd buy that. Sure.
As like main event quality,
As-
or
as
in the
a full-time.
conversation all the time. Yeah, full time.
As a full-time wrestler,
I mean, because
I-
that guy, his workout regimen and his dedication, he could do Undertaker style till he's like 60. So,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm sure he will come do his once a
Yeah.
year, but I mean he has started to break out into the Hollywood section
Yeah.
finally, and
Yeah.
so I think it's time for him to kind of finish up.
But
Alright, so
Ambrose
let's-
is really making the most out of him being gone, though, and making the most out of these injuries. Like, he
Yeah.
is taking the ball and
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
running with it. It's been
Yeah.
really exciting to watch.
it's going to be fascinating, and I can't wait for. I mean, the WrestleMania is going to be good. I feel like it's going to
Yeah.
be strong.
Yep.
Raw after WrestleMania, I can't wait for it. But really, whenever Rollins resurfaces,
Oh my God! Yeah.
I'm
Everybody
so
can't wait for Rollins to
excited
come
for
back.
that.
yeah.
He's gonna come back face. He's gonna do a lot more.
Even
it's
if
gonna.
he doesn't come, even if
I don't
he
even
comes right
care.
back as heel,
I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
I'm ready for that.
That is one of the main events. Championship match is one of the lower main events because of how they're writing it.
Yeah.
The other two is you have Shane and the Undertaker, which they're doing a great job, I think, telling
Yeah.
that story.
Oh yeah.
It's just more of a okay, what the fuck are they gonna do? Like this is a great story. It's gonna be fantastic until the match ends.
Yeah.
Because there's again, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. You can't have Shane lose and you can't have Undertaker
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah.
You can't have either lose.
I think we are just in store for a surprise.
I don't know what we're in store for. I'm excited
they
for the match.
surprised us.
Yeah, I'm excited for the match. I'm not excited for the aftermath.
I want to believe that this is going to result in Shane McMahon winning somehow, and it leading to like Shane's remaking the company and he's come in to fix everything, and them actually using that from a storytelling and a real life perspective of saying like, we know that things aren't great here right now.
Right.
We're going to actually like revamp some of this stuff. Not another brand split, but something.
Right,
to
that'd
shake
be
it up.
fantastic.
But there's a cost to that, which is lowering the Undertaker like to another loss.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I am not on hashtag Team Undertaker myself because I mean, you heard me say what the times that I watched wrestling in the past.
Yeah.
I wasn't really there for like the rise of the Undertaker, like any of the rise of the Undertaker.
Yeah.
In fact, when I watched him in the middle of
American
his
Badass?
reign, he was on a Limp Bizkit was playing and he was on the bike. So
rough.
So then I come back and now everybody loves him and I'm not on board. So I buy into the mystique because they tell me that I should.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't feel it myself.
Yeah, you should watch.
Well, they settled him into like the sort of retro Undertaker that you remember at some point. They decided, all right, we're locking Undertaker to like 1996 Undertaker. And that's the one that you see all the time.
You should watch the Undertaker versus Shawn. Because that's the one where everybody just like fell in love with
I have not seen that. I've seen a lot of praise about that one. I have not seen it. I was trying to think as if I wrestled it
the first one.
During the WWE 2K16 career mode, but no, Steve Austin wasn't involved. So
it's worth it. It's absolutely
wonder-
I've
worth it.
heard it is.
We'll have to. I'm sure we'll speculate on a bunch for the podcast coming up. But how they resolve that one, I could see some angle. It depends if Undertaker wants to come back at SummerSlam again, right? Like you could see some angle where he gets screwed and has to resolve that. Who knows? The thing I hope they don't do is some weird thing where Shane somehow ends up heel turning into joining the Authority. I mean, that would just
that would suck. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I really think they won't either. They have such a gold mine with Shane. You know, like.
Yeah, I'm going to save the speculation for our WrestleMania predictions episode.
Speaking of heel authority, I think that's a decent enough segue to Ziggler.
Oh, man.
And the Ziggler stuff...
I was excited, and then I was like, give him his own match, whatever he wants. Right. I don't know who he's going to fight. And then he lost. And then that was it. And
but you skipped over the part where, in my opinion at least, that match was really great. I love that match.
He puts on a great match. Everybody loves him.
I don't want to mean to say it in like a demeaning way. It's just like...
No, I know what you mean.
He kicked butt like he does. My problem with that whole angle was sort of the build-up to it. You know, whenever someone has to have to start their storyline with, like, a year and a half ago at Survivor Series, I did this.
Back when I was
like
relevant.
Cringeworthy, you know?
Yeah, but I have not... So many Triple H kickouts at 2.9 in that match. Like, that was just a really well done match. And I don't really like Ziggler matches a lot of the time. I feel like his selling is a little at
over the
odds.
top. Yeah,
he doesn't really sell like other people, so it's a little weird to me. But I thought that they were both great in that match.
Triple H has actually looked so good wrestling that now I'm worried he's going to show up Roman Reigns.
I'm
like,
okay with it.
Really badly, like just because like you said, Roman, he's okay in the ring. Yeah. Some people he matches up with better than others, right?
I think Triple H will carry him if he has to. I feel like Reigns always... He doesn't really deliver bad matches, right?
No,
like
he doesn't.
Like, I don't remember the last time I did not like a match that he was in.
Honestly, I think if you replace, if you just get rid of Superman Punch and he just does TV table power bombs instead all the time. He doesn't need two other people to help him lift it up.
No,
he's a strong dude.
That may be true.
If he just did that every time, boom, he's fixed. Because that man can execute a power bomb in a believable way. Right?
Yeah.
Or at least stop cocking the wrist, man.
It's stupid.
Not a magazine.
It's dumb. It's
right,
dumb.
Oh, man, the kids love it. I'm sure the kids
Oh, my God.
the kids love it. Come on, the kids love it.
It's so dumb. So last main event for WrestleMania we're building up here on Raw is Ambrose versus Brock. I fucking love it. I absolutely... Ambrose is the new Mick Foley. Like, let's just call it. Like, Ambrose
they made that pretty explicit on Monday, too,
yes, they did.
Yeah.
So,
that's so good.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that match. Heyman always builds it up so damn good. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like, they're winning so well with that match.
I don't feel like Ambrose can lose. Like, not like get pinned. I just mean like he has done so well over the last few months to elevate himself into that position or being elevated that like. He could get his ass kicked for 20 minutes and then get pinned, and everybody would still love him, and he wouldn't lose anything.
I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win it, and it's gonna be a really great win. Like, it's gonna be a shock.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a no one out of nowhere kind of win.
Yeah.
But it's gonna elevate him.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
that'd
you
be
should
tough.
save that for the speculation part.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you should.
Goddamn.
Yeah, because like I already feel compelled to like say my piece, and then all right,
Yeah,
we'll leave
yeah.
it. We'll leave
Okay.
it. Yeah. So yeah, well then with Ambrose, like all I gotta say there is like not to get too wrestling nerd meta about it, but like Brock's kind of been losing a lot for him, and that he's part time, so he's probably going away for a while.
Yeah.
After this. It'd be weird if he lost, but also not weird. I don't know. It's really hard to say.
Yeah,
Like I basically,
Yeah,
it's a
hard
coin
to
flip
predict.
match, which is great.
Yeah.
it's-
When that happens, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
right?
it's
just I don't
great.
know. Like I feel like I totally agree with Grant that like Ambrose can do no wrong now.
Yeah.
Because like especially against Brock, it's the perfect match because Brock, he could suplex him 30. Like they could say he loses because he got suplexed 38 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he'd still get up and be like, "Get back here, Brock! You wish
Yeah.
I didn't go down."
You know how many
Like,
times Mick Foley lost to Triple H? Like, he lost so many times to Triple H, and yet it always felt like he won.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was-
that's because they found that character worked really well for him, and I feel like they found that character with Ambrose too. Like he's too crazy to give up, and that works really well for him.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this WrestleMania coming up.
Yeah,
too
it's
bad. We don't know what Brittany's deal is. She puts you in the hospital, now she takes off.
Oh, man.
Who
Well,
knows?
that I think that's a good time as any for us to wrap it up for this week. If you like the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at OnTheHeelsWP and on Facebook.com/OnTheHeelsWP. Also, we're now on iTunes, so you can now download past episodes and subscribe to future episodes.
So hit that subscribe button, like us, follow us, and tell your wrestling buddies about the podcast. Feel free to tweet or message us random wrestling stuff, or if you have suggestions on topics we should hit, or want our opinions on a subject.
So we'll thank you for listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. We thank Grant for joining us.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Grant,
No problem.
for sitting in.
Anytime.
Tune into our next episode where, we might find out the truth behind Brittany's involvement with Ray's appendix. We're not
rough.
sure. It's we've got our best people on the case. Is it a coincidence that she disappears when he's on the injured list? Was she paid off?
Was it best for business?
Was it best for Ray could almost get behind it if it was best for business.
You know what? If it's best for business, I'll take that hit.
I mean, it is like what, a non-vital organ? If it's best
Yeah.
for business.
No one knows what it's for.
So yeah, after all of these questions, there's still one more that never seems to go away. It's like the 7-year itch. Will Roman connect with the audience?
What do you think, Grant?
Speaking of leftover vestigial organs,
Oh,
Roman Reigns. for
Is
you.
Roman Reigns the appendix?
Ow, that's rough. I feel.
Who's the Soylent?
Yeah, it wasn't Soylent.
On the Heels Wrestling Podcast.